The News 4 Rundown starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the News 4 Rundown. It is Tuesday, August 4th, primary day in Virginia. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Sean Yancey.
The polls have closed. I'm Jim Adley. Let's begin tonight with our team coverage of the Virginia primary. We'll send it first to Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Drew Wilder, who spent this day at the polling places around our region. You said earlier, not a whole lot of turnout today, Drew.
Yeah, it was pretty weak in Northern Virginia, Jim. I want to talk about turnout because that is going to be critical for how this night plays out. But first, we've got a couple of races that NBC News is ready to call. So I want to run through those real quickly with you. These have just come in. I had to write them on here. They just happened so fast they didn't even make the script. Starting with the Senate race, there were multiple Republicans in a primary race today to win the Republican nomination to take on incumbent Mark Warner. Burt Misuzawa wins the Republican nomination. He will face off against Mark Warner this November. Misuzawa was the top fundraiser on the Republican side, but look, when you're going up against a guy like Warner, money is going to matter. Misuzawa going into the primary had a little better than $300,000. Right now, Mark Warner has $25 million in fundraising in the bank. That's going to be crucial as we head into November. Now, I want to take you to Virginia's 10th congressional district. There were Republicans vying for the nomination to take on incumbent Democrat James Walkinshaw. Dave Beckwith, NBC News is ready to project, wins the Republican nomination. And finally, in District 8, NBC News projects that Don Beyer wins the Democratic nomination as he is seeking a 7th term in office. You guys, polls just closed 31 minutes ago. So now the votes are starting to be counted, and you can tell with turnout this low and so few races, we're already starting to get some calls. It's probably going to be a fairly quick night tonight. I would anticipate that we have some even more races called within the next hour or so. This was in Alexandria earlier. Voters were trickling in at the two precincts we were at. In Arlington, Democratic turnout was just over 5.5%. Republicans, less than half of 1%. In Fairfax County, Democratic turnout was a little better. It was at 7%. And then as of 5 o'clock, the Republican turnout in Fairfax County, less than 2%. One chief election officer I spoke with today told me this low turnout was expected. One reason, primaries are always low turnout, but also because this primary was pushed back from its typical June date. Do the shakeups in Washington, DOJ, the federal layoffs and cuts, does that influence you at all, or?
It's definitely a factor in my voting, yes.
I definitely think a lot of the larger conversations we've been seeing around the country about affordability, foreign policy, things like that as well, I think are top of mind for a lot of young voters like myself.
Rent is high, groceries are high, gas is high. I think having a candidate who focuses on those issues is going to appeal to the masses.
Also in the background of today's primary is the action from the Department of Justice, who, for the first time ever, has deployed election monitors to several states for the primaries today, including Virginia. The DOJ claims the watchers would be in Fairfax and Prince William counties to confirm voting access for Spanish and Vietnamese speakers, something that has not been an issue in recent elections. But I talked with Fairfax County Democrats and the Fairfax County Office of Elections. There were a lot of neutral election poll watchers out there as well. The Fairfax County Office of Elections tells me that those neutral poll watchers did see DOJ watchers out at several precincts, but so far there were no issues to report. Sean, Jim?
All right. We know you will be watching all evening long, as we will. Drew, let me ask you real quick.
Yep.
We talked earlier about the low voter turnout. You were out at one of the polling places today. Is there anything that we can sort of take away from that?
Not in Northern Virginia, I don't think, Sean. Look, these races were widely viewed as not competitive, so it's really not going to be an exciting race that's going to draw a bunch of voters out. What I will be watching for is tonight down in the Hampton Roads area, Virginia Congressional Districts 1 and 2. I'll be looking very closely to see what the Democratic turnout was in those races. Those are two Republican-controlled seats in the House of Representatives, and those are the two seats that Democrats believe that they can flip. Not even that they're maybes. Democrats truly believe that they will flip Districts 1 and 2 this November. I think we'll look at the turnout in those districts to see if that voter enthusiasm was really there behind the two leading candidates. That might give us a little bit of a barometer about the enthusiasm heading into November, Sean.
All right, we will see where things stand as the night continues on. Drew, thank you.
Well, one of Virginia's most closely watched races is on the ballot today. Voters in the 7th Congressional District are choosing a Republican nominee to take on Democratic Congressman Eugene Vindman this November.
Now, the outcome could help shape one of the state's most competitive congressional races this fall. News 4's Jessica Albert is live with the very latest on this race for us. Jessica?
Well, guys, NBC News just called this race for one of the Republicans who are running for the nomination here for the 7th District in Virginia. Doug Ollivant is the projected Republican nominee for this district. He's carrying about 55% of the vote. His next closest opponent is Philip Harding. That's whose watch party I'm at right now in Woodbridge. Now, like you guys said, this is a very close race and one that is really considered to be a swing district here in Virginia. This seat is being closely watched for the midterms. We want to give you a look at the candidates that were running for this seat. Philip Harding, like I said, that's where I am right now. He's an entrepreneur and a Harvard grad. Doug Ollivant, the projected winner for this race, is an Army veteran who once served as the director of the National Security Council. And the third candidate is Rick Smithers, a pastor who spent years working in construction and calls himself a blue-collar man. Now, key issues in this election are the rise of data centers in Northern Virginia and growth in this area, as well as affordability. I want to give you a little history about District 7. Before Eugene Vindman was elected to the seat in 2024, Virginia's governor, Abigail Spanberger, held this seat for 3 consecutive terms. And when she was first elected in 2018, she was the first Democrat to hold this seat since the 70s. Now, Republicans are hoping to regain control of this seat, of course, in the midterm elections. However, NBC News analysts say it may be difficult for them to do because Virginia went blue for Kamala Harris in the 2024 election and because Eugene Vindman has outraised his Republican challengers by a huge margin. And not only that, the winner of this, the projected winner of this nomination right now will also have only just 2 months to campaign for the midterm election in November, guys.
All right, Jessica Albert with the very latest. Already that race being called tonight. Jessica, thank you.
We'll have the latest results as they come in this evening on News 4 at 11, so stay with us also on our NBC Washington app.
And now to the latest on a deadly crash that killed a man and sent 7 children to the hospital. It happened early this morning near the intersection of Great Seneca Highway and Clopper Road in Germantown. According to police, the 7 children, ages 12 to 15, were riding around in a stolen car. News 4's Mauricio Casillas has the latest from the scene.
The big question tonight remains, how is it that something like this can happen? How is it that this group, 7 kids between the ages of 12 and 15, end up out in the streets, end up crashing at 5 in the morning in a stolen car? We got a little bit of clarity from Montgomery County Police. They say that that white Kia that they were all riding in was reported stolen from a home here in Montgomery County hours after the crash actually happened. And take a look, you can see some of the damage that's left behind here. This is the bush area that's been destroyed. One of the cars ended up on there. A portion of the curb has been chipped off. You can see still some of the tire marks here in this intersection. And interestingly, when we first got here this morning, this crosswalk signal had actually toppled over and was on its side. Crews have since repaired it. A very intense, a very violent crash that has certainly rocked the world of the people who live in this area. A mangled mess shows the devastation left behind after this deadly crash. Police say the man who was driving this blue Toyota was killed, pronounced dead at the scene. And this is the white Kia police say was stolen that the 7 children were all riding in when the crash happened. All were hospitalized. 2 are listed in critical condition.
You know, it just goes to show that this level of damage, clearly there are people that don't know what to do behind the vehicle. There are people that are inexperienced, and this kind of situation occurs as a result of that. I'm just praying for the best for everybody that's involved.
Police have not yet said exactly how the crash happened nor which direction each car was coming from. What's clear is that those children should not have been in the car at the time. Police do say a witness had reported that they had seen a white car driving erratically in the area this morning.
You do not have a license at the age of 15. So right now, what I would say is parents, just make sure you know where your children are. This incident happened at 5 o'clock in the morning.
The crash shut down the intersection for several hours. Once news spread of what had happened, many who live around here were stunned.
It was kids driving erratically. They ended up taking a man's life. And that's sad.
The pictures looked really bad, so yeah, it's a scary time.
I can only imagine one of the family members getting that call, right? Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm stuck. I can only imagine. God, my heart's out for the family and other people that were involved in the accident.
Yeah, police have still not identified the man who was killed in the crash. Those 7 children remain in the hospital as police try to piece together how exactly this tragedy happened. Reporting in Germantown, Mauricio Casillas, News 4.
All right, Doug joins us now. We're kicking off the week. Some sunny days today, but tonight, overnight, we're going to get dumped on, it sounds like.
In some areas. We've got the rain already trying to make its way in across our region. We saw the sun early, not too humid, but you noticed the humidity was creeping up.
I definitely noticed it.
Yeah, and that's going to be the case over the next couple of days. It is really going to be creeping up there. Take a look, show you what we're dealing with out there right now. Flood watch in effect for tonight. Notice where it is, all along the Beltway and I-95. The entire I-95 corridor under a flood watch right on through early tomorrow morning. And this is really for flash flooding that we're going to be seeing, especially in those urban areas. So watch out overnight tonight. Already seeing the rain moving in towards southern Maryland, down towards Calvert County, in towards areas like Charles County, back towards Rappahannock County. Rain moving up from the south. You can see that rain. The heaviest rain is now really just kind of fading out as it moves to the north, but it will be developing overnight as it continues to move our way as a result of an area of low pressure down to the south, down near Atlanta, that will work its way in. I mean, just look at the moisture just working its way up our way. It's going to feel very tropical over the next couple of days as we see those the temperatures go up, the humidity go way up, and our rain chances go up. I'm going to take you hour by hour. Coming up in just a few minutes, I'll show you which time of day tomorrow I expect to see the worst part of that rainfall, and then we'll talk about the next couple of days as well. See you back here in a minute.
All right, we'll look forward to it. Doug, thank you.
All right, as we head to break this evening, we're going to take you to the scene of National Night Out. This is going on nationwide, but here's a look at what's happening right now in Maryland. This is at the Mall of Prince George's. Police and community members are gathering together to help build relationships. Keep it right here. The News 4 Rundown. We'll be right back. All right, we're back now with some of the other stories we're following tonight. 24 families are out of their home after a fire burned through their apartment building on E Street Southeast today. Fire crews rushed to evacuate the building as flames spread to the roof. Crews rescued a dog that was trapped inside. Fortunately, no residents were hurt. One firefighter suffered minor injuries. There is no word yet on what started that fire.
For the second year in a row, Metro officials are touting reductions in crime on Metro rail, Metro buses, and at parking lots, too. According to officials, one of the reasons for the drop in the network of surveillance cameras they have available to them.
In Prince George's County, an entrepreneur and community advocate wants to challenge incumbent county executive Aisha Braveboy in the elections in November. Tanya Sweat said she submitted the necessary 6,000 petition signatures to run as an independent, but the county still has not confirmed that she's met the requirement. Sweat told News 4 she does not think the current leadership has voters' best interest at heart.
Overnight, there will be a massive rocket crash on the moon, and astronomers are calling it a good thing. Just after 2:30 a.m., a rocket booster from a SpaceX ship that launched back in 25 will plummet toward the lunar surface at 5,400 miles an hour. The booster is space junk that's been pulled closer and closer to the moon, and it will finally enter the atmosphere overnight. That should be something to see.
Yeah, Doug's going to pull out his telescope and check it out.
You know what? I wish I had one for this because this is going to be something that's really cool. We're going to see the pictures of this, of course, tomorrow morning, but really is going to be cool. That rocket booster 4-story high as far as the building is concerned. So, and the projected,
it's moving fast too.
It's moving super fast, and the dust is going to be up around 60 miles. I mean, just incredible. incredible. So yeah, really could be something to watch. Something to watch for us tomorrow morning. Maybe your alarm clock tomorrow. Just kind of hit snooze.
All right.
Because we're talking about rain. And that rain's coming in pretty early, and I do think we could see some potential for flooding right during the early rush. Right now, though, look at that shot.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that nice? A really pretty shot. Notice how calm the Potomac is out there right now. It is a really nice night across our area. Temperature-wise, we're at 82 degrees. Look at the dew point, though. Earlier today, dew point was down into the low 60s. Now it's at 70. It continues to rise. That's why we have a heat index of 86. You've probably felt that difference in humidity over the last few hours, and you're going to feel it even more over the next few days. It really is going to get quite humid here. Tropical air mass working its way our way. 83 degrees right now, Gaithersburg, 81 Culpeper, 79 Fredericksburg. Look at Charlottesville only at 73. Why? Well, that's where the rain is, and we do have some rain coming in. That's why we have a flood watch in effect through tomorrow morning. It includes parts of Montgomery County and everybody around the Beltway, all the way down towards the south, in towards Spotsylvania County, including Fredericksburg, Quantico, over towards Waldorf, and back towards Warrenton as well. Now, the rain currently in towards southern Maryland, down around Fredericksburg, in through parts of the Blue Ridge here, starting to see that. You see it around Charlottesville. Look at the areas in red. These are all flash flood warnings. Norfolk saw a lot of rain today. Richmond getting hit very hard. Now the heaviest of rain. Notice we're no longer seeing any lightning with this. So this is actually weakening as it works its way to the north, but the system itself, which is spinning down around Atlanta, is also working its way to the north and will continue to just pump in all of this moisture off the Atlantic, out of the Gulf, in towards our region. So we're looking at some very wet conditions as we make our way in through tomorrow morning for some of us. Not for everybody, but for some of us. Let's take a look at it. We'll take you hour by hour. First of all, overnight tonight, I'm stopping this around 3 o'clock because that's when the rain starts to move in. So I think we're dry for the most part around the metro area until then. But watch the rain move in. And look at tomorrow morning. I mean, this is now the morning rush. Most of the Beltway covered in rain, and some of that will be heavy at times. I'm thinking 1 to 2 inches of rain is possible in some locations, maybe as much as 3 inches. So it's really something we got to watch. Now, back towards the I-81 corridor, you might not see anything at all. So we're really watching this very closely to see who gets what and when. As we make our way through the day, though, the biggest part of the area of rain moves out, and then it just gets very warm and very humid tomorrow. Going for a high temperature into the upper 80s, just like we were today. We hit 88 today. Going 87 tomorrow, 91 Thursday, 91 on Friday and Saturday. Heat index, though, around 100 degrees. Tomorrow, heat index around 95, around 100 degrees as we make our way in towards the weekend. And a chance of showers and storms just about every single day there. So we'll continue to watch that for you, too. But once again, the biggest thing about tomorrow, early rain, the rest of the week and into the weekend, the best chance of rain coming between about 3 and 8 o'clock. No washouts, though. Just something to watch out for. Keep that umbrella handy.
All right. Thank goodness we're not having a washout. Yeah. Thank you, Doug. All right, our Virginia primary coverage continues right now. We're starting to get some results coming in. NBC News now projects that Republican Doug Ollivant will win the Virginia Congressional District 7 race. He will face Republican Eugene Vindman in the general election in November.
NBC News projects Republican Tony Savio will win the nomination in the Virginia Congressional District 8 race. He was running unopposed. He will now face incumbent Democrat Congressman Don Beyer come November.
NBC News also projects that Dave Beckwith will win the Republican nomination in Virginia's 10th congressional district. He will take on Republican Suhas Subramanian in the general election.
And in Virginia's 11th congressional district, incumbent Democrat Congressman James Wackenshaw will take on Republican Arthur Purvis. Now, both men ran unopposed. They'll face off in the general election in November.
All right. Of course, we will continue to follow these results all throughout the evening, and join us back here for News 4 at 11 for the very latest. An FBI counterintelligence agent accused of stealing nearly $1 million in cryptocurrency made a second appearance in federal court today. And according to court documents, Patrick Yarrow told investigators he became frustrated with the FBI and had been in possession of that cryptocurrency since last year.
Today, a magistrate judge found probable cause to move the case forward. News 4's Paul Wagner was in the courtroom this afternoon and has the story.
Good evening. During a hearing here in federal court in Alexandria today, a magistrate judge found probable cause to continue the case against Patrick Yarrow. However, she has not decided on whether or not to release him. There will be another hearing tomorrow afternoon. It was an emotional day for the former FBI agent. At one point, he turned around, looked at his wife and parents sitting in the courtroom. Then he turned back around, buried his head in his hands, and began to weep. Last Tuesday afternoon, FBI counterintelligence agent Patrick Yarrow contacted an employee with the Department of Justice via the Signal app and asked to meet to discuss a personal matter. According to a complaint filed in federal court, the two met at FBI headquarters before moving the meeting across the street to the Department of Justice. According to the complaint, Yarrow decided to tell DOJ employee 1 about his actions because of the shame, and he knew what he did was wrong. Yarrow said it was eating him up inside, and he wanted to get it off his chest. Yarrow inquired about criminal exposure. DOJ employee 1 instructed Yarrow that it was very serious. He should get a lawyer. The complaint goes on to say, in approximately November 2024, during his investigative work, Yarrow was exposed to adversarial cryptocurrency accounts. At this point, Yarrow described himself as spinning out of control. Yarrow claimed he was frustrated that the FBI could not or would not act against adversarial cryptocurrency accounts. The complaint does not specify which adversary the accounts belong to. However, according to 2 sources familiar with the matter, tell NBC News it's Russia. The 37-year-old, who is married with 1 child, according to the complaint, told FBI agents he memorized the passphrases from adversarial accounts. Yarrow decided to take matters into his own hands and transfer funds from the adversarial cryptocurrency accounts to his personal wallet. The complaint says in late 2024 or early 2025, Yarrow began transferring the cryptocurrency 10 to 12 times. As the FBI began investigating Yarrow's story, they filed search warrants for his home, computers, phones, and a car, and found a question Yarrow allegedly made to ChatGPT. The complaint says on June 4, 2026, Yarrow asked ChatGPT, if you had a bucket of money, around $1 million, and you wanted to leave the USA and become a resident or citizen of an EU country, what would you do? ChatGPT responded, given everything you've told me, option 1, Portugal, my top choice for your specific situation. There was testimony from an FBI agent today that there's approximately $160,000 in cryptocurrency that the FBI says they cannot access. It's unclear where that cryptocurrency may be. As far as Yarrow is concerned, he'll spend another night in the Alexandria jail and have another hearing at federal court here tomorrow afternoon at 2. Outside the federal court in Alexandria, Paul Wagner, News 4.
There is much more ahead here on the News 4 Rundown.
We'll be right back. Stay with us. NBC's The Voice will have a brand new host and new celebrity judges when season 31 returns next spring. Keke Palmer will take over for Carson Daly on The Voice Celebrity Edition. The new coaches include Queen Latifah, Joe Jonas, and Riley Green. You can watch the hit singing contest when season 30 returns this fall.
The National Zoo is celebrating Bao-Li's 5th birthday. The party happened at the Giant Panda exhibit. Zookeepers gave Bao-Li a custom-made fruit-based ice cake with a summer shark theme. Signs around there read, "Dive into 5." Bao-Li arrived back in D.C. in 2024. Keepers have described him as charismatic, playful, and confident. By the way, if you're ever trying to spot him, they say you might find him hanging out in a tree. And in case you're wondering about that shark theme,
yeah,
when he sheds his winter coat, they say he always has a patch on his back that stays. It kind of looks like a shark fin. So that's why it has the shark theme.
Don't we all have those patches on our? Wait a minute.
No, we don't. You might. All right.
Oh,
Leonardo DiCaprio, Jeff Bezos behind a brand new fund to help endangered lemurs, salamanders, and pigs. The Phoenix Species Project committed to $200 million to reviving the Earth's most endangered species. The habitats and future existence of the animals are threatened by climate change. Other animals on that list include an iguana and a pancake tortoise.
Oh, wow. All right. That's going to do it for us. It is primary night, and we're going to have full results coming up on News 4 at 11 for this Tuesday. Thanks for having us in.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you at 11.